All right, thank you very much. Well, our countdown to the primaries continues this morning. We've spoken to several gubernatorial candidates. We have another one with us this morning for you to get to know. Democratic candidate Yolanda Flowers is here in the studio with us today. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Rogers.
It's good to see you.
Oh, it's good to be seen.
All right, so we want to let folks know who you are, and you graduated from Woodlawn High School.
Yes. Yes.
And went to school, though, in Tennessee after that and lived there for a long time, right?
I did.
And that's where you raised your family for the most part.
Yes.
And met your husband. So you just moved back a few years ago to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to, you didn't go, you dropped out of school, you said, to raise your family.
Yes.
But you went back to college when your youngest child was in high school, is that right?
Yeah, he was a junior in high school. And I figured, well, he's old enough to fix his own food. And I really had to explain it to my family, you know, that why I'm going back. And because I'll be going back, well, you're only going to have good hot meals twice a week. So, so I did prepare my family.
And you got numerous degrees, did you not?
I did.
Yeah. In what area did you expertise?
I started out, I got my associates in speech and my bachelor's of audiology and my master's in rehabilitation counseling.
Okay, and so explain the rehabilitation counsel, or it's called vocational rehabilitation counseling, right?
Yes.
Explain that, what is that?
What it does is it's geared toward working with people with disabilities. Specifically adults, to transition them from where they are to the world of work.
Okay, so how did you transition from doing that to getting into politics, wanting to run for governor? Have you ever run for office before?
No, not technically. I served as the neighborhood association secretary.
Okay.
You know, so I just got my feet
Gave you a taste of it?
Just a little bit, just a tad bit.
All right, your platform is called Reconstructing Alabama Together.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means I take the word reconstruction. You know, we've heard of reforming, rebuilding, repairing, but not reconstruction. Reconstruction, that term means to create, you know. And I wanted us to come together and create Alabama that has, an Alabama that's never been. And for ever since Alabama has been a state, it has been full of disparities and just unfairness, and things have not been balanced and equal amongst everyone according to the preamble. So
how do you feel you can do that? What do you think qualifies you for the voters to vote for you to do that?
That's a good question. Well, I believe because I hear and I've seen on both spectrums, both sides. You know, I've lived with people who are not my color, and I've lived with those, of course, with mine.
There's one quote I do want to, is this an accurate quote? You said, "We are not one race against another race."
That's right.
That's important to you.
That's important. We are all one. And that's what I'm wanting to bring us together. I see how Alabama has suffered for so long. And I really relate to Alabama as a lady. You know, a woman that has not been treated fairly, that has been abused by her lovers, and just left out in the field, just to be picked over by the buzzards, you know.
You feel you're not shy about telling folks everything is based in your faith? Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say. I'm not. Really, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm speaking from my heart. When I was introduced about running for governor, and that was by one of my grandchildren, he said, "Well, Mom, Granny," he calls me Granny, there's not many African Americans in this, and this position. And at first he wanted me to be, he asked me to run for a councilman. I said, "No, son, I don't have time for that. You know, Granddaddy is not feeling well, I have to go back and forth and everything." And he said, "Well, why don't you become governor. I said, did you not hear me? You know. And I said, just don't have time. But he said, well, pray about it, Granny. And I told him I would. So weeks went by, and he even told me when the training for you know, that we have to take the initial training if you're running for an office. But I after several weeks, I did go into prayer because God told me. He said, you promised him you would pray. And I said, you're right. And then
then you made that decision
I
after
made
that?
that decision, yes. So, so even the theme, Reconstruction, God gave me that. And I am not afraid to say that or ashamed to say that.
Well, thank you for letting us get to know you a little bit. Yolanda Flowers, and she again is running on the Democratic ticket for governor. And I do want to say, I know you lost your husband last year, and I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
And I know you feel like he's kind of guiding you through this as well, right?
Yes, yes, he's my support.
All right,
Yes.
thank you. Good to see you, good to meet you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.